Hi, guys. I wanted to give you guys an honest review of AVAX. I think there's been a lot of bad reviews of it and people misunderstanding how AVAX actually works and what's going on with it. We thought it was the darling of the bull run. It was going to go to 200, 300 and just keep going. What the hell happened? It's only $9.18. It just had a pump all the way to about $11.50, but it came right back down. And this all happened on the heels of basically Stars Areana, basically this new social platform like Friends Tech. It blew up AVAX and it went until everything was going good until it didn't, until AVAX social app, Stars Areana, drained of $3 million of AVAX. Well, that sucks. AVAX finally had something really good going for itself. And look at this pump, guys. This was going to rock and roll. This was straight going to go up. And I own a ton of AVAX, and I probably wouldn't have bought that much when I look back about, learn from my mistakes. Learn from the mistakes I made during the last bull run. A lot of you guys are going to make the same mistake. I got a ton of AVAX. Some I actually mined for, not mine, but I farmed for free about 200 or 300 in the last couple months. So I'm very close to 2,000 AVAX. A lot of it I'm getting for free now. I'm not even buying it. I don't want to buy it. What I do is I take the farm tokens. I mean, some of these farms are AVAX farms, and I convert it to AVAX. So I'm trying to bring down my total cost because some of the AVAX I got during the bull run, I was in the $50s and $60 range and sometimes even more. And I'm really badly back on them. I remember I sold this one NFT for $2,500, which I bought for basically nothing. And I was like, oh my God, I made $2,500 and it got 50 AVAX. Well, those 50 AVAX are only worth $500 now. I wish I would have sold them for USDT or USDC, but this was during the bull run. You thought, oh, $50 is a really good price for AVAX. Because when you look back, look where AVAX was. I mean, AVAX, well, you got to go even further now. Was it $150? I got $50 AVAX. I'm thinking I'm doing great. So learn from my mistakes. Always get cash for your stuff, basically. That's one mistake I made. But why does AVAX just keep going down? This is a mistake that a lot of people keep making, and I'm here to show you guys why it keeps going down and why the future might not be so bright. It's not dark. It's just not as bright as I thought. Next bull run, I'm going to give you some predictions where I think it's going to go, but let's look at this. AVAX is down 93.68%, almost 94% from the top. Let's compare that to Ethereum, 68%. So AVAX has fallen a lot more. Why has AVAX fallen a lot more from the highs than both Ethereum and Bitcoin? That is the biggest question of the day, right? Well, I'm going to show you, even though Amazon Web Services has picked AVAX, a lot of good stuff. Alibaba has done it too. Alibaba has joined with AVAX. Amazon has joined with AVAX. You got all this great news coming out. But why? Why does it constantly go down? Why does it constantly create a miserable existence for the people that trust it and own it and love it? Well, everything always comes back to this thing called tokenomics and vesting schedules of what the team has done. When you don't have good tokenomics and you don't have good vesting schedules, this is the problem, guys. And you know what? I kind of ignored it. A lot of people looked at this, the burns. They said, well, AVAX is going to burn all the fees. And you can go to burnedavax.com and it says all fees on Avalanche are burned, benefiting everyone in the community. It sounds so holistic and so wonderful. It really does. And they burned 2.6 million AVAX. That is worth $24 million. And at the peak of the market, it would have been worth over about $300 million, right? Well, it sounds so wonderful. They're burning all the fees. I got to get this. It's limited. And that's what it says, is a hard cap scarce asset that is used to pay fees. Well, it's kind of a lie because the amount they're burning is so minimal compared to what, let's just say, BNB. Look how much BNB burns. BNB burns, this is just one quarter, for example. Last 7 days alone, BNB has burned 172,000. Last quarter, they burned 2.15 million BNB, worth $457 million. How can this be? How can BNB be burning so much more than AVAX? First, the fees are higher on BNB. Second, it's a more active network. Third, they're backed by the world's largest exchange. AVAX itself is now going to be backed by Amazon and Alibaba, the two largest e-commerce sites in the world. And also, they have other services like AWS and so forth. So I'm hopeful that those burns will pick up in the future as AVAX gets kind of going. More demand comes through the pipes. That quite hasn't happened yet. The demand is slowly going up on AVAX. And as we saw, all it takes is one killer app to set us on fire. That's it. I thought this was going to run to about 20 or 30. It just didn't do that. But let's go here. This is the most important thing. This is the unlocks. When it first came out, you know, you had like about 200 million tokens. You're closer to about 400 million tokens. This downward pressure from these unlocked invested tokens is the biggest problem. The good news is if you come to this website, and I'll put all the links for you guys down here, you guys can come ask us questions. And I have a private Discord too. You guys want to join? If you look here, this is really the unlocks. It's not too bad. It doesn't seem so bad. But what this doesn't have in here is it doesn't have this one, the staking rewards. Staking rewards are constant. So if you have 2,000 AVAX, which was my goal, no longer, because you know what? I can farm 200 AVAX a lot faster than staking my 2,000 AVAX, getting 8% a year, I believe, which is 160 a year for free. It's just not worth it, in my opinion. Now, what I'm looking at here is the staking rewards are only about 112 million. And if you go just slowly across, you can see there's more staking rewards really coming out daily or every couple of days. And it's piling up. It's adding up. It's, you know, you go to February 25, I'm already 163 million versus I'm 113 million. That is really the most of the tokens coming out. This other stuff that's coming out isn't so bad. The team tokens, there's only 18 million left. The foundation has 46 million. And generally the foundation and the team aren't going to dump on you. Most of them have already been out. It's not the worst thing in the world. Strategic partners and airdrops are the last two. And there's only 9 million and 4.5 million. Not a crazy amount of inflation from them. But most of the inflation is coming from their staking. This is what I'd like to suggest to the AVAX community. Slow down your fucking staking rewards, number one. Okay, slow it the fuck down. And then number two, increase these burns. Like at some point, you got to get these burns up. I don't know how they're going to get them up. I don't know what they got to do, but this is ridiculous. You can't have burns that are so low. It's anemic. Needs to be more. They're like, we're burning all the fees. Everybody buy AVAX, is a scarce resource. Well, it's not that scarce. It's going to take forever. Now, long term, maybe you'll make a dent. It's no longer, you know, it says 720 million. It's 720 million minus 2.6 million, right? Of this burn, which is, you know, I guess it's something. But at the end of the day, like this burn needs to go way up for it to matter. I would like to see 2.6 million burns every week. 10 million burns a month. I don't see why they can't. There's some mechanism that BNB is employing that is doing it. Why can't they employ some mechanism that's similar to it? Obviously, you need more activity on the chain, and something like a Friends Tech or a Stars Areana looks like could have really taken the token way up. When I saw this, guys, I was like, holy cow, this is going to run to 20. And if Stars Areana would have kept going, this thing was on its way to 20. And I was going to dump it, to be very honest with you. If Stars Areana was going to take off, this is going to light up. This was going to light up. And this lit up on, yes, a little bit more volume than normal, but nothing crazy. You know, nothing like crazy. Yeah, the volume had started to spike a little bit, had moved up from, you know, 120 million a day to 260 million a day. But this hadn't crescendoed yet. This hadn't gone boom, ballistic yet. 300, 400, 500 million volume. This was definitely on its way to 20. Okay. And I was going to dump and I was going to take that money. I was going to come back and buy more later, or maybe just buy AVAX or Bitcoin, which are obviously performing better than this. This hasn't had the performance I expected from it. And that I knew, but in the back of my head, I said, people love AVAX. It's going to continue to do well, but the weight of these unlocked tokens is just too much. The weight of the staking is just too much. It's like a tube fork. It's always giving out new tokens almost. You know, it's too much. Yes, over time, it will be less and less and less. But right now, it's just too much. Now, in the next bull run, which, you know, everyone's waiting for, AVAX could definitely do some things. It can definitely, I predict it's probably going to go between $30 and $50 range. I don't see it getting back to its old highs of $140, $150 range. I don't see it. I think it's going to be anywhere between 30 on the low end, and I think on the high end, we're probably looking at $60 to $80 max. It's just there's more tokens have come on the market. Unless something like a Stars Areana, something on Amazon or Alibaba kind of fires them to the whole next level. Now, we've been talking about this for a while. AVAX price buckles under pressure of $100 million token unlock. So they've been talking. It's been out there. Now, the unlocks, this is interesting. The one that happened in May 28th of this year, only 100,000 AVAX were sold. So most of the people that are getting this unlocked vested AVAX aren't actually even selling it. Only about 100,000, which is only about $1 million. So the people that are getting this AVAX are holding it. However, it is creating this overhang on the token. And that's why I believe even if the token does burst to 20 or 30 or 40 or $50, you're going to have these people sell on top of you. That is a problem. It's something I kind of covered on ICP. You guys can look at my last review on ICP. These tokens kind of have the same mechanism where there's just too many things coming, too much vested tokens coming online. And that is the biggest problem. Now, besides that, guys, you know, everything else on AVAX I love. They got the burns going. I want to see more burns. I love the partnerships. I love everything. I love everything else they're doing. The only thing I don't love is why did their tokenomics have to be such shit, such just absolute garbage, just such shit. Like, God damn it, man. Like, couldn't you make better tokenomics for the people who believe in your project? I'm hoping at some point the foundation has enough common sense to understand that the staking needs to be brought down and that the burns need to go up. If they do those two things, we enter into a bull run and things start getting going and another Stars Areana, some big project comes up on AVAX, I do predict the price can go a lot higher. You know, but this, look at this 90-day chart before Stars Areana came into it. It was a catastrophe. You know, this is what happened in May. This is what happened in May after that other unlock is an absolute disaster. Look at it. It's a fucking disaster. It's another disaster. You know, now the other unlock is going to happen. I believe they have the unlock date somewhere here, upcoming in November 23rd. Hopefully it doesn't have a crazy impact. The people aren't selling that many, but you know, these unlocks generally haven't been too terrible. As you can see, the performance over a year period, you know, you had a low here of 11 something, and then you hit it down here around 8 something. Hasn't been that catastrophic compared to some other tokens. But to get back up into these ranges, guys, I'm not sure AVAX will ever get back to those ranges. You can see how much is already out there in the circulating supply. I think realistically, we need to understand that AVAX might not be a top performer in the next bull run, and we have to look at other tokens realistically. And even a 10X on AVAX, which some people are predicting, I'm not predicting that. I don't think it will, would put you at about a $60 billion market cap. On a fully diluted right now, it's about 3.2, it puts about $30 billion. Is $30 billion? It's possible. Listen, in a bull run, anything's possible. You can't say it's not. Anything is possible, but let me tell you something. If this goes over anything over $50 or $60, I am dumping my bags of AVAX all over you guys, all over everything. Oh, everybody, I'm out. I'm taking my profit. I'm going somewhere else because I know there's too many tokens coming through the vested and other schedules in the staking. Keep the number one driver of all these tokens, guys, doesn't matter what it is. Eventually, the bull run will end, and the number one driver and contributor and destroyer of wealth is this right here. Always check this. I'll put these links down for you. It's these vested tokens. That is the number one driver of destruction of wealth. Learn from my mistakes. I thought AVAX could overcome it. I thought the burns could overcome it. I was wrong. Learn from what I have done. Prepare yourself for the next bull run. I'll have more videos like this to help you guys understand and make real wealth. All right, guys. Best of luck. Make sure to subscribe. I'll talk to you later.